Sentenced to be hero, more like sentenced to be peak. Winter 2026 is packed with peak. We have Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, Oshinoko, To Your Eternity Season 3, Hell's Paradise, Fire Force, and also I have one more that you might have missed. It's called Omego Toki ga Mauno ni Korete to Omunai to Yoshu Party wo Tsuyu Sarete no de Otou de Kamina ni Koroshita, or just roll over and die. But one anime that came out of nowhere and suddenly is on everyone's radar is Sentenced to be Hero.
Hero.
Now, before we get into the video, there's going to be a lot of spoilers. So if you want to avoid that, go and watch it. It's just one episode. You can just get done in an hour and then come back to the video. Or if you don't want to do that, keep watching, I guess. The first episode is about this guy, Xylo, and he is basically a hero for the kingdom. And in this world, being a hero is not a good thing. If you're a hero, it's basically that you've been sentenced to become an undying servant for the kingdom. You cannot be killed. Even if you die, they're just gonna bring you back and make you fight all over again, right? And the first episode is just him with his sidekick Doda, and he also has a goddess with him, and her name is Tioretta, and she's basically
It's Travis.
Can I just pause for a second? I really hate lolly characters like this. You know, the oh my god, she's so cute, she's such a small girl. Flap! Shut the fuck up! You know what I mean? They're just so annoying. I don't like them at all. You're not a dog. I don't want to pet you. Please just be normal, you know? And with the help of Tioretta, he basically kills the big bad demon lord, and he saves the royal knights and their commander, right? And basically saves the day, saves the kingdom, and all of that. That's basically the gist of what happens in the story. But towards the end of the episode, we find a massive plot twist. We find out that Xylo actually used to work in the royal army. He was like the commander for the royal guards, and he also killed the previous goddess that he was in pact with. Now, this is kind of a big reveal, right? Because throughout the whole episode, he always says, I hate the goddesses. No, I despise you. I'm not making a pact with you. I hate you, right? So, but I don't think it was ever to a point that he killed somebody. But then we're slowly revealed that the team that Xylo was in charge of, they're sent out to a mission, and it said that reinforcements are gonna come for them later, right? And they keep on fighting, and everyone's dying, and turns out the goddess, whoever it was, exerted herself, right? She did too much, and she became fully tired and started getting corrupted. Now, what Xylo had to do was kill her, so she doesn't turn into a big bad demon lord with the power of the goddess, basically, right? That's what, you know, that's why he had to kill her. But when he brings this up to the court, when they finally, you know, catch him for murdering a goddess, right? And they're like, why did you do this? And he's like, nah, you gave me the order, and you said the reinforcements were gonna come, and then the goddess got corrupted and she was about to turn into a demon lord. That's the reason I fucking murdered her. Okay, he didn't say that. He said that's the reason he killed her, right? But then the people, you know, the basically the judges, basically the kingdom, the kings and everyone, they say, we never said that. What the hell? We never said we were gonna send reinforcement. There wasn't even an order that was given. So, and they also say that a goddess has never turned into a demon lord before. Now, so basically he was set up by the government to, you know, this is like, you know, so he could murder his goddess, I guess. I don't know why they would set him up, but then he makes a pact that he's gonna fucking kill all of them. Now, I've seen a lot of people online compare this show, at least the first episode, to the first season of Shield Hero. God, I remember watching Shield Hero like 6 or 7 years. 6, 7! But I remember watching Shield Hero 6, 7. I remember watching Shield Hero 6 years ago when I was, no, it was 7 years ago, right? Yeah, it was 2019, that's 7 years ago. But I remember just coming home, being 16, and watching this show weekly and fucking hating this bitch, man. Fuck her! If you don't know what Shield Hero is, it's I think 4 random teenagers from all across Japan are gathered by some, of course, an isekai kingdom, and they have 4 different weapons which choose them. So basically there was a sword, there was a spear, there was a bow, and there was a shield. And just like the name suggests, our shield hero is selected by the shield. Now, there's the king's daughter who, as soon as the shield hero, what was his name again? Nafumi, yeah, his name was Nafumi. So as soon as Nafumi is in, as soon as he gets a shield, she becomes close to him and she's like, why don't I join your party and why don't I come out with you? And he's like, you know what, I just got here, that sounds kind of nice, let's just do it. And then what happens is they come back from the first party and this fucking bitch, she basically says that Nafumi tried to rape her when they were out hunting together. And of course, she's the king's daughter, so obviously he's banished from the kingdom, just sent outside. But this is where you get a massive twist. Turns out the shield actually can absorb pretty much anything that it touches, and also has like super strong reinforcements and powers that you just didn't know about, because the shield is really selective with who it picks, and it just turns out all you have to know was the shield was the strongest weapon that could have been there. That's basically why the show is called Shield Hero, right? And then I watched the first season. At the end, if I'm not wrong, if I remember it right, at the end of the first season, Nafumi basically saves the whole kingdom with Raphtalia and the bird. I don't remember the angel bird, the chicken, which is also like a girl. Hold on, that basically sounds, isn't that kind of similar? But yeah, so the chicken bird, I don't remember her name, but with them he basically saves the kingdom from like a horde of something. I don't remember what. And then, now that Nafumi's name is cleared, because this bitch tries this with another hero, and they're like, bro, that happened with you too? What the hell, bro? It happened with both of us? And, you know, like, they clear his name, so he officially changes the princess's name to the bitch, which, as a 16-year-old, you're like, fuck yeah, that's how you do it, you know? But, oh my god, I remember, if you think you hated, what was her name? Fucking Gabby from Attack on Titan, you have not hated any anime character as much as this fucking bitch. I don't even remember her name. And oh my god, I remember hating her so much. Yeah, and yeah, I think that's why pretty much everyone is comparing it to Shield Hero, because there's a lot of similarities right now at least. But when season 2 started, the big turtle thing, where I watched 2 episodes of that, and even I was like, come on, man. We ended the first season on a really good note. What are we doing here? You know? And that's where I really stopped watching Shield Hero. But yeah, I can see the similarities, I think, between Shield Hero and Sentenced to Be Hero. 1, they both have heroes in their name. 2 would be that they both were banished. And 3, which I think might happen in the future, is Xylo is going to become super strong with this goddess, and he's going to probably save the kingdom. And then get his name cleared. Probably this is going to happen, right? Are we on the same page? I think this is going to happen. Sentenced to Be Hero doesn't really do anything life-changing with the plot or anything crazy with the plot. The only thing that's insane about it is the animation. It was made by Studio Kai and Kadokawa. And Studio Kai I think is only known basically for slice of life. It did have a few action animes here and there, but nothing on this level, right? And the first episode is basically an hour-long just fights and animation and just mixing in 2D and 3D so smoothly, though it looks natural rather than looking janky, and everything just it's just too much money and too much resources just being put into a relatively unknown IP, and you don't really do this unless you like trust it to explode, which it did, right? Pretty much everybody on the internet is talking about Sentenced to Be Hero. Also, maybe I think it's also the time that it came out. Jujutsu Kaisen's first episode for season 3 came out 3 days after Sentenced to Be Hero. So it being one of the first releases of the season also made it get that the initial audience that you would not have gotten if they started Jujutsu Kaisen, because everyone only has enough time in their day, you know what I mean? And yep, being said that it's being made by like a relatively not a famous studio, and the fight scenes that it has is crazy, especially this one that they do like a ton of times. Basically, like the Jujutsu Kaisen Toji when he was fighting that octopus kind of thing, right? And we're talking about the first episode of an anime that most people haven't even heard about, and Jujutsu Kaisen, which is world famous, you know? Like, they both are on an animation level. Of course, Jujutsu Kaisen is way higher. Map out, we get it, right? But also, this is a strong contender, you know what I mean? And this is just a first episode of a, that I have to preface this again. This is the first episode of a show that most people haven't even heard of, right? I mean, all this is made by a relatively unknown studio, which did have a few action animes under their roster, right? But not really like a huge variety of them, and most of them are just slice of life, animes, right? And I don't even know how a small studio even did something like this. And even on the story side, right? They aren't doing anything crazy with it, but they are using what they have to the best level possible. Like as soon as Xylo meets the goddess Tioretta, he immediately hates her because of his past, right? Which we know later, like before. Now that we know that he's already, had a bad experience with the goddess, we know why he hates her. And this is like a continuation of why he says he hates her multiple times. And the only reason he even forms a pact with her is because he thought the commander was dead, right? And yeah, and when it comes to Xylo, he seems more like a complex character because he was, because he was a royal guard before. He's seen people being sentenced to be hero, name drop, but he's seen people being sentenced to be hero, name drop, but he's seen people sentenced to be hero who've lost their mind when they've died too many times. So it seems like he's in his original body. He cares really a lot more about being in his original body, right? And this is something that he actively tries, because even when Dota tells him, I mean, in the end, if you just are killed, there's going to bring him back, right? But he cares about his sense of self and his memories so much because he has been betrayed, and he doesn't ever want to forget that, and he want to get his revenge back. So even with whatever they have, they're using it really well. Like the characters are well written, even though it's only Xylo for now, but he's the one who gets a lot of screen time because he is a protagonist. That makes sense. Basically, this is a very good example of what happens if you give a studio enough time and resources to work with. And sometimes what happens is you rush a studio and it could be the best IP ever made. The first season is genuinely the best thing you've ever watched, and people all over the world agree that. But then the third season comes around and you have a show that's basically like a slide show, like a PowerPoint presentation. You probably know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean? And it's, no, everything has come out. So we saw that it went from being one of the highest rated anime, right, to one of the least rated anime. So it went from, I think one of the episodes has 9.1 to 1 point something. So it is, the difference is crazy. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's obviously One Punch Man of season 3. It was so bad. I also have a video on why it was bad and what was the reason, so if you want to watch that, it will be somewhere around here. So please go ahead and watch that. Like I said, the show is a visual spectacle, so I'm gonna be watching it every week, and I'm still not fully sold on the idea of what the god Tioretta. I'm still not sold on the idea of her, but I hope it changes. I hope I do like her, and I hope by the end of the season I'm like, you know what? I want to pet you. You know what? Come here. I want to pet you. You know? I hope that happens. Now, obviously, I understand calling this the anime of the year is hyperbole. I'm not saying, oh my god, no, there won't be any other anime in the whole year, even though we've just started it. You know, there won't be any other anime which even come close to this. JJK season 3 might just even beat it in the first 3 months. You know, I get it. That might happen, but just based on where it's going, I do want to keep up with it, do want to know where it goes, and just keep a track of what's actually happening on the show. And you know what this anime actually reminds me of? It's another, what was that called? It was this anime about this guy who I think loses his arm because he's betrayed by his friends, and this whole class gets transported to another world. Uh, Commonplace to the strongest in the world. Fucking Afureyoda or something in Japanese. But it's so similar because he also has a partner who's like a bunny, and he's this guy who gets transferred to another world, but then gets betrayed by all of his friends, and now he has to start over again. And in the end, he becomes the savior of his class, if I'm not wrong. If you know this anime, you're the real one, right? But yeah, that's basically what this anime reminds me of. And yeah, I hope that this anime turns out to be good. And if you do also have a recommendation of an anime that you're watching this season, except for the ones that I might be watching, let me know in the comments. Now, yeah, I hope this anime is good, and I hope this season is good, because I don't know why I was burnt out on anime. Oh, I turned into a. Actually, it's not anime, it's anime. But I hope this year for anime is good, because for a while I think I have been burnt out of anime, but now I'm kind of slowly getting into it. So yeah, I hope it's good, and I hope you're watching and subscribing and liking. Come on now, guys. I'm also gonna be watching a few other shows. I'm also actively going to be watching a few other shows this season, some which I've been hyped a long time for, and some which, just came out this season. The first one has to be To Your Eternity. I'm 100 billion trillion% watching this show. The first season, everyone loved it, even though around the second season, I think pretty much a lot of people dropped it. I understand it got kind of boring and kind of messy, but genuinely, this is one of my top 5 shows of it that has come out in a while, and I'm really excited because the third season is supposed to also be set in the modern times, so I'm really excited for this one. The second one is Dead Account. I think this is like an anime about a streamer, right? The second one is about Dead Account. I think this is an anime about a streamer, right? And about how he takes all the negativity online and gets in that sweet cash. But turns out he's actually doing all this for his sick sister who's in the hospital. So just to pay her bills, he's taking all the negativity online. So who knows? Maybe this might be a good one. Third one is Ikoku Nikki. One, I really like the art style. The first episode was amazing, and the story is about like a recluse novelist who has to take care of his. Third is Ikoku Nikki. The story is about a reclusive novelist who now has to take care of his niece after both of her parents die. I really like the art style. I really like what they're doing with it, and I also think that this is gonna be like a sad, like a really soppy, and maybe like a sad anime. And I love me a sad anime, so I'm genuinely gonna be watching this one, and let's see how it ends up. The fourth one and the final that I'm gonna be watching is the Darwin Incident. Now, do I really even have to tell you why I'll be watching the Darwin Incident? Come on, it's about a talking monkey who's attending human school. Is that peak cinema or what? But genuinely, it's I'm really excited for this show. I watched the first episode. It was really good. So I'm gonna be watching the whole thing, and I might even make a video out of it. Who knows? And same goes for this anime too. If let's say like 3 months when all the episodes are out, and the second episode turns out to be the Uzumaki second episode, you better know I'll be right there making another video. Alright? Anyways, that's it for today, and if you have any anime that you're excited for, some underrated gem, let me know in the comments. Who knows? I might even watch that one. Alright, see you. Bye!